Hello, you guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm Miley, and today's pick and image reading will be on what the summer season has in store for you. So, I will be referring to the summer season's time frame from June 21st all the way till September 21st or September 22nd, which would be the astronomical first and last days of summer. So before we get into the readings, I would like for you to know that you are free to listen to the messages that I channel today through the cards, and I hope that regardless of what you choose, you will make your decision based on your own inner guidance. On the screen, you have the opportunity here to select which of the three piles with the glass of lemonade calls to you the most, and you may select one or more piles if you choose to do so. Because this is a general reading, parts of the channel messages may or may not resonate, so if it does not resonate, release and do not force it to resonate for whatever your life situation may be at the time you're seeing this video. Now that I have said all of that, if you need more time to determine which pile is meant for you, I will give you more time to meditate on that. If you don't need any more time selecting the pile that has your name and energy written all over it, then your timestamp for your reading can be found in the description box below. And I will see you at your selected pile. I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello, my pile number ones. Let's find out what the summer season has in store for you. So, for your first three tarot cards, you have the Page of Swords reversed with the Nine of Cups and the King of Pentacles both upright. The energy from these cards are giving me the example of someone going solo and they succeed at going solo. It's like when someone thought differently from how the group thought, and these two ways of thinking clashed with each other a lot to the point that there needed to be a separation from the group. But it doesn't feel like a bad thing for you, pile number one. It seems as though this will all work out for you in some way. It's like you're looking at a situation and you're saying, I don't really agree with that, or this thing is no longer aligned with what I envisioned for myself at this point in time. It would be like if you entered the workforce and you were hired for a specific job that you thought you would like, but then you learn the job and realize that you actually don't like the job. And so this triggers you to find a new job that is best aligned with what you are looking for. Another example that I could think of would be like if you were to start getting in touch with your spiritual practices more and you find people who are also deep into their spiritual practices, but their approach or their commitment is completely different from yours. Maybe it's a little too intense for your speed. So you try to find ways that work best for you, that are tailored to you, that make you feel comfortable with connecting to the spiritual side of you and doesn't make you feel as though you would want to separate yourself from the higher realms. From the Nine of Cups, I do get this feeling of wanting to feel at peace with the choices that you're making in your life. You are trying to create peace for yourself, whatever that looks like for you. You're trying to create stability for yourself, pile number one. It's like you're throwing a bunch of different stuff on the wall and are trying to see what sticks. I'm being reminded of a character named Trish from an old Disney show called Austin and Ally, and it felt like in every episode Trish would have a different job. It's like she could never keep a job. She would be fired or quit one job, and then the next day she's working somewhere else, and the day after that it's a completely different job she's working at. It's like she couldn't find the right fit for her when it came to having and keeping a job. So for you, pal number one, it's like you have a goal, but the steps that you need to take in order to reach that goal is a bit blurry for you. You're not sure what's a good fit for you, what's not a good fit for you, what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. And from the Page of Swords, it does feel as though you are a little lost. Plans that may work out for others might not work out for you, and feelings of frustration may come up for some of you. And even if this reading is resonating with you so far, I do see that things will work out for you eventually. Unfortunately, I do think that this is one of those readings where you have to be open to experiencing trial and error in order for you to discover where you want to be, so you can obtain this level of emotional fulfillment with your life, this level of feeling at peace because everything in your physical world is how it should be. You feel as though you can take care of yourself and the people that you care about. I could also interpret these cards as the beginning, middle, and end of your summer season. You might start off as unsure, a little lost in the beginning, not knowing where you're headed, or if the choices you're currently making will lead you down the path that will lead you towards achieving your goals. But then by the middle of summer, you start to find your footing and you become a little bit more confident in yourself and a bit more proud of the choices that you're making. Then by the end of summer, you're like a pro. You know what you're doing. If you come across an issue, you know what to do, how to handle it. You trust yourself to get the job done. You know for a fact that the path that you're currently taking is the right path for you to take because it will lead you towards your goals. There is no question or doubt about the actions that you're taking. In the beginning of summer, there was a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of confusion. Your feet weren't fully planted in a lot of things because you weren't sure if things would work out like you planned. To tell me more about the Page of Swords reversed, you have the Tower reversed as a clarifying card. So pile number one, there may be something that you are avoiding that is the clear answer to all of your problems, all of the confusion that you're facing. I'm picking up on the example of those plots in movies where the child who grew up spoiled and rich now has to do hard work and understand what it means to earn your money instead of it just being handed to you. Then by the end of the movie, they are a completely different person. Them getting a job was a humbling experience and they actually enjoy doing what they were paid to do. So I say all of this to say, pile number one, that although the path that you choose to take might not look how you envisioned it to look for you, it was most definitely a path worth taking in the end. I'm hearing do it for the plot. You might find yourself agreeing to trying new things you didn't expect for yourself to be doing, but it is very clear that during the summer, it will be a pivotal season for you. You will be growing in ways that you didn't expect for yourself to grow, and yes, it will all be worth it. Pulling more cards for your reading, you have the Page of Cups reversed, clarified by the Page of Pentacles upright. This is giving me hustle energy. I'm focused on the numbers. I want to see my income increase, my follower count increase, my view count increase, my numbers and customers increase. Spread the word, get my name out there, get my brand's name out there, get the information out there that I am here and I am ready to provide the services that I am providing. You could be obsessed with numbers, doing everything you can to see numbers go up for you in some way. You have a plan and you are ready to execute the plan regardless of the challenges you may face. I'm picking up on a lack of sleep. Your body or your intuition may be trying to tell you something and you're choosing to ignore it because you have a goal to reach. It's like you're telling your body, yes, I know I got 4 hours of sleep. I know I got 2 hours of sleep and I need more, but I also promised that I would show up for this thing. Maybe after I show up for this thing, then I will prioritize getting more sleep. And then pile number one, you get more sleep and then you're back at it again, packing your schedule to the brim. Time cannot be wasted with you. I'm hearing time is money. You're showing the universe that you are committed to something that you are passionate about. You want to make this work. The summer season isn't a time for you to relax by your choice. It doesn't seem as though you want to take a break. You may give yourself a break here and there, but not too many. Again, time is money and every second counts. You're busy this summer, pile number one. For your next tarot card, you have the star card upright. You are making your dreams come true. I'm getting the visual of you wishing on a star and saying how you want for something to work out for you and how you would really appreciate it if this dream came true. And then the next day, you're moving differently. You wake up not feeling like the person you were yesterday. It's almost like you allowed your higher self or spirit to move through you throughout the entirety of summer to ensure that you made your wish come true. And now I'm being reminded of Princess Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. It's half wishing on a star and half putting in the hard work to make your dreams come true. And you're open and willing to put in the hard work this summer, pal number one. You have hope that you can achieve what you are wanting to achieve. You are not staying in the house all summer, pile number one. You are outside handling business. You have the Ace of Cups upright here in your reading, which tells me that you are prioritizing something that you love, because you can hustle all day for something you don't care about, but during this summer, there is something in your heart that you want to nurture. You want to take care of it. I'm getting the visual of someone prioritizing how much time they spend with a loved one, and they don't care what's happening in other aspects of their life. They just know that it is important for them to focus on nurturing this relationship that they have with another person. This could be a romantic relationship, a platonic one, a familial one, whichever one resonates with you, pal number one. Your job might not like it that you're calling off work during the summer and you're just like, I don't care. This other thing matters more to me. And I'm giving you a heads up now that I will not be available during this specific time during the summer. You're pouring a lot of your efforts into the cups you want to fill. To tell me more about the Ace of Cups, you have the Emperor card reversed. And I do think that this card is saying that, yes, you have all of these plans that the universe is giving you the green light on, and this is a positive thing to work towards and build up. However, it is also important to remember to leave space open for miracles to happen. It is important for you to remember to leave space open for you to breathe. You don't have to control every second of your day. Maybe leave between 1 to 3 hours open for the universe to work their magic while you rest. It's not just you who is working hard to make your dreams come true. You have a team that is here and willing to help in the non-physical realm and potentially in the physical realm as well. You may be the boss, but I think that sometimes you may forget that you're not doing everything by yourself. You're not alone. Even if it may feel like you're alone, you're not. And it's okay to slow things down just for a bit, especially if you do get to a point where you're overwhelmed by your busy schedule. For your next tarot card, you have the Seven of Pentacles upright, which tells me that you are on a steady path, pal number one. You're doing the right thing. You're making the right moves to lead yourself towards your own goals. I'm hearing the plan finally made it out of the group chat. You took something that was just an idea and planned for it to make it a reality, and now you're living the dream. You persevered and made it through all of the challenges that came your way, and when the summer season is over, you'll be able to say that you were able to knock down a lot of barriers and level up in a way that you didn't expect for yourself to level up. To tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands upright. You have all four of the page cards in your reading, which tells me that this is the energy you'll be operating out of, pile number one. There's a lot of room for growth for you. You may be a beginner at something. You're gonna have to experience a lot of trial and error in order to grow and improve at something, but you're on the right path regardless. Your energy is youthful. You're going into the summer season optimistic about something. I'm hearing young love, and I'm interpreting that message in two ways. The first one is that for some of you, you could be opening yourself up to love again during the summer. And the other way that I am interpreting this message is that I'm seeing the visual of an old couple, and they are doing things that remind them of their youth when they first started dating each other, or the time period that left a mark on them in a happy, memorable way. I'm picking up on trends, things that were trending during a specific period in time. They're coming back to bring back old happy memories. I'm also picking up on using trends as a way to increase your numbers. Like I mentioned earlier in your reading, pile number one, a lot of fun times will be had this summer. Memories will be created. You will most definitely remember this summer as a pivotal point in time for you. It could represent the start of a lot of new things for you, and you're just going for it, seeing what works for you. I'm picking up that the energy is like going clothes shopping, and you're trying on all of these different articles of clothing to see which one matches your vibe for the summer. You may need to take a lunch break. This shopping spree may last more than a day until you find exactly everything that you are looking for. And eventually, in the end, you'll find what works best for you. Just don't give up on yourself. You will make it through the summer with the busy schedule that you have. Stick to the plan. Be patient with everything. Everything will happen in its own right timing. Fill up the cups that you want to fill up in your life, because when you do that, that's where you'll start to see change and growth occur. And remember that you're not alone in this, and to have fun every once in a while. Now, for the last part of your reading, I will be pulling from the Work Your Light Oracle cards deck to give you your Oracle card for the summer, and the card that came out for you was the You're Already Doing It card that says, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, do not question things so much. You are on the right track. You are facing the right way. Stop overthinking it. It's happening, and you are closer than you think. You are exactly where you need to be, and things are moving at the perfect speed. Do not rush it. Now is not the time to be impatient. Now is the time to walk steady. There is no rush. What you are building is being built. What you have planted soon will blossom. With every new day, a new brick is being laid. You have come a long way. The foundations are steady. Now all that is needed is for you to trust and keep walking forward. If the thought that things should be moving faster enters your head, that is just your ego comparing your rising to someone else. Comparison is not your friend. Stay in your lane, water your own garden, knowing that your time to bloom will come soon. And for your Work Your Light, it says you are already doing it. Keep going. And that is all that I have for you, pile number one. You've reached the end of your reading. I hope that the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And until then, I hope that you all have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day and summer. See you later. Hello, my pile number twos. Let's find out what the summer season has in store for you. So, for your first three tarot cards, you have the Seven of Swords reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Hanged Man upright. For the summer season, you are being asked to regroup, take a minute to pause, look at things from a different perspective, rearrange some things, get organized, because I'm seeing a whole lot happening that is leaving you in shambles. You have a lot going on in the summertime. You may have put too many things on your plate that you thought you could handle, you thought you could manage, but I'm seeing you leaving a trail of a mess behind. It's like carrying more than what you can hold in your arms, to the point that you pretty much drop everything because everything is spilling all over the place. I'm seeing coffee being spilled everywhere, paperwork flying out of your arms with every step you take. Your movements are very clumsy. It's a whole mess, and I'm hearing that one clip with Lady Gaga where she says, no sleep, bus, club, another club, plane, next place. And overall, you just don't have the time to breathe. You could be feeling as though you are stuck in this loop of chaos with no idea how to get off this ride, and you're trying your best to manage everything, but sometimes it feels as though your best is not enough. You could be looking at something one way and haven't taken into consideration that there is another way to handle something. Your one way of dealing with a particular situation isn't the only way of handling it. Maybe mapping everything out so you can see it visually can give you an idea of what you're actually working with. Writing things down on a calendar or in a planner is also an option. I'm picking up on double booking for something. Perhaps you forgot that you already committed to one thing on a specific date at a specific time and had already agreed to something else for the same date at the same time. I'm seeing a mistaken overlap in appointments, or the schedule is so tight you forgot to factor in how long it would take you to get from one appointment to the next when dealing with traffic at a specific time during the day. So you might be late to your next appointment. I'm also getting that for some of you, your body is tired of being overworked because of how hectic your job may be or your schedule may be. And there may come a time during the summer season where you actively choose to pause and say, how can I better manage all of these plans without stressing myself out again? Pulling more cards for your reading, you have the Ace of Cups upright, clarified by the Death card reversed. You want all of the things that you have on your plate, so you're unwilling to let go of anything that is already currently on your plate. You want to do this and you want to do that, but it's not physically possible for you to have it all. There is something that you potentially should drop, but you're not open and willing to drop it for whatever reason. As an example, you could have more than one job, and one week all of your jobs are calling you in to see if you can work that week, and it's not possible for you to be at more than one place at the same time. So you would have to pick and choose which place you would like to work at and turn down your other jobs. You have to choose which job is more important to you, which job has your heart at the moment that you would like to work at. You have to pick what makes you happy, what brings you the most joy, or what is positioned as higher priority for you, because I'm seeing that although it may feel great to have all of these options, you only have the time and energy to commit to one of these options. So you have to be realistic about the choices you're making during the summer. Think long and hard before you add anything else to your plate, and think long and hard about what you may need to remove from your plates. As sad as you may feel about letting go of something, you are making space for something better to be presented to you, something that will lead to everything working out for the better. For your next tarot card, you have the Queen of Swords reversed, and so you may need to have an important talk with someone that you are avoiding. You could be avoiding this person, or you could be avoiding the conversation itself. Whatever it is, I would say that you are being advised to think before you speak, or think about how you want to start the conversation off before you approach this person, because if you don't, the conversation could be a little messy. There is a potential to end things on bad terms if you're not careful and wise with your words. Be mature with how you approach the situation or person, regardless of how they respond or act. I'm picking up to not be petty, be cordial with each other, be professional if this is related to work. To tell me more about the Queen of Swords, you have the Four of Cups reversed. Try not to burn bridges. You guys can separate without burning bridges. You may never know what the future holds, and this connection may need to come back around for you somehow in some way. I'm getting the example of someone talking to their boss and explaining to them that they quit. Even though deep down this person hated this job, they would never tell their boss that, but they would tell their boss that they were grateful for the opportunities that they had while working for them, and hopefully their paths cross again in the future. Saying this could still leave doors open for opportunities in the future, because you may never know what you may need in the future. Who knows, your boss could recommend you for something else, or you may need a referral, and they would happily be that person for you to give you a referral. The Four of Cups also highlights to me a shift in your mindset during the summer season. You're seeing things in a new light. Maybe once you do decide to let some things go in your life, you'll start to see all of the ways in which you benefited from making this decision. You've officially put an end to this vicious loop you were in. You no longer feel stuck, like you weren't able to get off this ride of everything consistently being in disarray. For some of you, I'm picking up on cleaning your home. Maybe you decide to clean up your home, but it's like no matter how many organized drawers and shelves you have, you still feel as though there's a lot going on in your home, and this is your sign to consider decluttering your home. Get rid of what you no longer use or what no longer holds any value to you. If you plan on buying new Tupperware, get rid of your old dingy Tupperware. Those makeup products that you've kept that you haven't touched in years and the good quality that they probably once were have expired. Get rid of them. The clothes that you haven't touched in a year or more that's sitting in your closet or in your dresser, get rid of them. Those stacks of paper or junk mail you need to shred, go ahead and shred those. Those pictures in your phone that no longer hold meaning to you, delete them so you can have more storage space. Cleanse everything around you that reminds you of the old. Release old energies so you can embrace the new one. You're allowing yourself to start over, start fresh, and do things better moving forward. I see you getting excited about life again. It's like you were missing the joy in life, but now you've found it again. You no longer feel like, woe is me, things can never go right in my life. I'm hearing you've cracked the code, you're free, you've finally figured it out. And you can get to this point. You just have to be open to stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you thought you never would have to do. And I say this because your next tarot card is the Eight of Swords upright. For some of you, you're allowing your fears of making hard decisions hold you back. And until you're ready to face the hard choices you have to face, you're going to continue to be in this cycle you don't want to be in. I'm hearing when you're ready to let go, you can let go and no one is going to stop you. It's like the universe was already ready for you to move on. They were just waiting for you to catch up. At this point in time during the summer, no one is going to hold you back from anything except yourself. It's like when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll know what to do moving forward. You're not stuck in anything. You just have yet to think outside of the box to easily see a way out. And the way out may be more obvious to some, more than others, but if you have chosen this pile, trust and believe that there is a way out of all of this chaos. You are not trapped. You are not stuck. You are not doomed to live your life like this for the rest of your life. It's time for you to transition into something new, something better. You just have to be willing to step towards this new way of living, this new way of operating and approaching life. Those negative thoughts aren't helping you. They're hindering you. There's never a good reason for you to be your biggest enemy right now during the summer season. It's time to let go of you holding yourself back. For some of you, I'm picking up that you feel as though you don't know what to do, you don't know the right steps to take, but it also feels as though you're thinking too hard about the situation. In most cases, it's not a grand step that you have to take, it's a small one. I'm picking up on the Princess and the Pea story, how the princess couldn't sleep because of this one small pea that was hidden under all of the mattresses that she was sleeping on top of. Removing that small size pea is what could make a world of a difference in the quality of her sleep. For you, pile number 2, find in your life what represents the small pea that if you removed it, you could instantly see a shift in the quality of your life. That thing that you have been postponing and saying that you'll get back to it and finally be done with it, or you can finally get rid of it. The summer season is the perfect time for you to address it. For others of you, this small step could lead to you opening up a can of worms. And I say this because the Page of Cups reversed is now here in your reading. You came to address one thing and now everything must be addressed. As an example, you could agree to to start going to therapy. Then after your first few sessions, you realize that there was more going on within you than what was resting at the surface. And although it may seem like a lot to address, it's worth it to address it, no matter how messy it may get at times. Going back to cleaning and decluttering, you may go into your decluttering project thinking that it will go smoothly, and all you need to do is address that one section that will probably take you about an hour to address. However, as you start the process, you come to find that there were things hidden underneath that you had forgotten to address a while back. So now, not only do you have to worry about the section you were initially focusing on, but now you have to address the things that were hidden underneath that section because your brain just won't let you leave it there. You had your mind set on completing this goal or this task, and now you won't even let yourself get in the way of reaching that goal. It's like once you get the ball rolling, you can't let it stop. And this is a positive thing. The universe wants for you to go back and address that one section in your life that has allowed for you to live your life in chaos. The energy is very much giving me Mercury retrograde vibes. I don't know if we'll have one during the summer, and if we do, I don't know when it will start and end, but if we do end up having one during the summer, this Mercury retrograde will most definitely play an important role in your life in the summertime. You could undergo a lot of healing, and in order to get to that point, you may have to let things get messy before they get clean, before you get to that deep healing that you were initially aiming for in the beginning. And you may want to quickly get over this process because it's taking too long according to the pace you would like to be moving, but really take your time with this process. And when I say take your time, I don't mean procrastinate. Don't wait until the very last second to take action, but take action when you are being guided to take action in the moment. If there is a pause that needs to happen, take advantage of that pause. But when you're being instructed to move, do not hesitate to move. You have the green light from the universe during the summer to take care of and handle a lot of things. You may feel as though life is happening to you, but in actuality, the universe is trying to nudge you to make life happen for you. Hence the encouragement to get you to rearrange and discard some things in your life. You may have to be open to the process, pile number 2. Your mind can be a powerful tool to help you transform your life for the better. So if you would like to, try to be open to new possibilities and new ways of viewing your life. Now, for the last part of your reading, I will be pulling from the Work Your Light Oracle cards deck to give you your oracle card for the summer. And the card that came out for you was the Akasha card that says your guidance is divinely guided. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, Akasha exists in the 5th dimension and the library of souls. All soul contracts, history, gifts, lessons, and more exist here. We each have access to this information of the past, present, and future and can tap into it at any time. While we have free will, there are also points on the timeline of our lives that are predestined or pre-planned, soul contracts or agreements that were made before incarnating. It could be a company you chose to work for, a relationship you plan to have, or a person you agreed to mentor or help. Whatever it is, know that it is divinely guided and will not bypass you. If you are waiting for a sign to proceed, this card is it. You are likely living out an important part of your soul's journey, and you are exactly where you need to be. This is very exciting indeed. It is time to call in the support of your helpers, both in the physical realm and the spirit world, to trust the signs coming, to take note of your dreams, to notice any feelings or vision that you receive, for you are tapping into the wisdom of the Akasha and you are being given the go-ahead to proceed. And for your Work Your Light transmission, it says, hold the card on your heart and say, I open myself up to receive the wisdom of the Akasha. I am ready to download any information from my soul records that is in my highest good and the highest good of all right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. You've reached the end of your reading. I hope that the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And until then, I hope that you all have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day in summer. See you later. Hello, my pile number threes. Let's find out what the summer season has in store for you. So, for your first three tarot cards, you have the Six of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands, all reversed. There is an imbalance. Something or someone is out of control. The energy that the cards are giving me is like how Rue's addiction in season 2 of Euphoria were getting out of hand. She was lashing out at people who cared for her and wanted her to get help. Their perceived good intentions were not viewed as good intentions in Rue's eyes. Another example that I can think of to describe the energy of this reading is if someone's behavior has led them down a path that has led them to being isolated. They've managed to push away all of the people who loved and supported them. The things that they are doing are either harmful to them or harmful to others, which can lead to others choosing to separate themselves from the chaos. And when this person realizes how badly they have messed up with the choices they've made in life, it nudges them to reflect on the past and go inward to figure out what's going on with them so they can understand themselves better and learn how to kind of turn down the behaviors and choices that have led them to the position that they are in now. It's like there was a delay in the healing process, but better late than never. Did this person want for things to turn out this way in the end? No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't their intention. However, things have played out in the way that they did, and now this person has to face the reality of the consequences of their own actions. And there is hope for them to turn some things around for themselves for the better. I'm getting the visual of a boss who was harsh or said something that was harsh or was yelling at their employees, and they didn't mean for things to come out that way, but in the heat of the moment it did. And now once things have died down in the work environment, they apologize for the way that they've talked to their employees, and they want for things to go back to how they were before things got out of hand. I'm hearing someone say, we are family. We are a family. Maybe for you, pile number three, no matter what you face during the summer season, in the end, the people that you choose to surround yourself with will always be like family to you. You just may be going through some tough experiences with each other at the start, middle, and or end of summer. It feels as though there will be a period where you may have to separate yourself from each other, give each other some space to figure some things out on your own. I'm also picking up on long distance relationships. Maybe this will be the first time you're physically away from your partner, and because this is a new experience for you, you're not 100% sure of how to navigate the situation. Or this could be your first time separating yourself from your romantic partner. There was a rough patch that you guys were going through and you both decide to remain together in the connection, but you will be giving each other some space to figure everything out, and then when the timing is right, you will reconnect. You could have a lot on your plate, pile number three, that is not allowing you to focus on everything in your life all at the same time. It's giving me the same energy of when you see a parent kind of shooing their child away so they can focus on what already had their attention. And if this pattern continues, it could have a negative impact on the relationship between the parent and the child, a relationship that is valuable to both the child and the parent. For your next tarot card, you have the Fool card reversed. I'm hearing foolish mistakes, people saying a lot of things that they don't mean, being distracted from what's right in front of them, the things that matter, not being careful with how you word things, speaking from a place of immaturity rather than maturity. A lot of confusion that is happening. In pile number two, I believe I brought up Mercury retrograde. That's the energy that this reading is giving me as well, just in a slightly different way. This reading is more so focused on the miscommunications that can occur during Mercury retrogrades. The Six of Swords is reminding me of delays through your preferred choice of transportation. Maybe your flight is late, or there's a lot of traffic on your way to and from work. I'm picking up on people living in different time zones, so it's kind of difficult to talk to each other unless it's during a specific time during the day where you won't miss each other's phone calls. Others may feel misunderstood during this time. No matter how many times or ways you could explain yourself, it's just not getting through to others. I'm picking up on areas in your life where there wasn't a problem are now starting to have problems. Things seem a little unstable during the summer season. Certain areas in your life may be, or feel neglected by you or you feel neglected by it. But I'm hearing that either you or someone you're connected to is spread thin, and that's why certain things may slip through the radar and could be why things are thrown out of balance. I'm getting the example of someone feeling neglected in their romantic relationship, and so this causes them to make the decision to step out on the relationship and make some unfaithful choices. The universe said foolish choices, so either you or the people that you're connected to, pile number 3, are making decisions that you don't really have to make. You have no good reason as to why you can't stop and think before you act or think before you speak, but you may make some choices that are impulsive in nature. And I just want to say, pile number 3, that I don't think that your summer season is going to be completely awful, but I do get the feeling that it may be that one thing that took up all your time and energy that you didn't like that would make you say that you didn't enjoy your summer season. It's like it took up your whole life and you're not thrilled about it. Again, there's something about your attention to something that is unhealthy for you. It's causing an imbalance in your life. There is something that you're not doing in moderation that is negatively impacting other aspects in your life. There could be a need for you to rearrange your priorities. I'm picking up on the energy of someone being so heavily focused on work that it's stressing them out. They're not getting proper sleep. They're not eating full meals. The relationships and connections in their life are being neglected. And when summer ends, this person looks back and says, I had an awful summer, when that doesn't have to be the case for them. For your next tarot card, you have the 4 of Cups reversed. Through the choices that you choose to make, things can start to turn around for you, pile number 3. I'm seeing opportunities being presented to you, and because you are aware that these opportunities align with what you are looking for, I see you starting to open up, accepting things that are different from the norm, things that you are used to, patterns and behaviors that have not changed in a long time are starting to shift. I'm hearing the word healing. I'm picking up on health. This would be like all of a sudden during the summer season you decide that you want to start taking better care of your health. Maybe you don't have any health issues, but you want to get better at making better choices for your body's sake. I'm also picking up on the health of your soul. You start to pay attention that you've allowed certain things in your life to taint the pure soul that you once had, and are now starting to make the choice to cleanse it, purge it out of your system, what no longer needs to stay there, what no longer benefits your internal system. I'm seeing you learning how to take care of yourself better, getting rid of what bothers your nervous system, what sends you into a frenzy, what causes an imbalance within you. The summer season for you is about making things right again. Once you notice that something is off, you feel yourself pulling away from the things that matter to you, that are good for you. I see you recognizing that it is your responsibility to get close again with the things that are important to you. I see you attempting to strengthen the important bonds and relationships you have with others. This would be like planning and setting a date during the summer where you and all your friends can hang out and bond with each other, because you guys haven't connected with each other in a while. You all have been dealing with the things that have been going on in your own personal lives so much that you forget that you all have each other to lift each other's spirits up just by being in each other's presence and connecting and filling each other in on what's been going on in you guys' personal lives. I see you strengthening the relationship you have with yourself, getting to better know yourself, what you like, what you dislike, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, what are your hobbies, who you are outside of your job title, your romantic relationship title, your familial roles. Who are you when you can just be you? I'm getting the visual of a newborn baby. They are in their most authentic version of themselves, a mess and all, but they are still loved. Pile number 3, you may find yourself going back to the basics. Who were you when you were a child, before you became an adult and had to take on responsibilities that life threw at you? Were you actually a loud child before you became this quiet person? Were you the wild child that knew how to take up space before you learned how to dim your own light and make yourself small? Give time and space for this new version of you to come out. It won't be a quick and easy process, but Have fun learning yourself again. Don't be afraid to try something new. If there is an aspect of you that you want to heal, go for it. Allow yourself to outgrow the old and allow new things, people, places, experiences to come into your life and bring you back to who you were before you were thrown off balance. Because this is a general reading, healing for all of you may look different. I'm picking up on going to AA meetings, trying new meals to learn how to cook that are healthy for you, journaling, spending time with the friends and family that you love, getting back into old hobbies that used to bring you joy, or discovering new hobbies that bring you joy. Your healing could impact you on a physical, mental, emotional, social, or spiritual level, and it's all here to bring you back to that place where you truly felt like life is worth living. You're appreciative of the things that you choose to experience during the summer season. You're coming out of your shell. You're learning how to openly be yourself. I'm hearing that some of you are being reborn again. You're giving yourself a fresh start. It's time to start over and make the personal choice to do better for yourself. I'm hearing the word clean. Maybe you're starting over and giving yourself a clean slate. And maybe you're actually cleaning your space and purging out what you've been holding on to that no longer holds meaning to you. Clear it all away. Detox, cleanse yourself and your energy. Give yourself a second chance. Prioritize doing what you need to do to give yourself a second chance. For your next tarot card, you have the Temperance card reversed, which is one of the cards in tarot that screams imbalance to me. This card feels as though it is here as a reminder of potentially what's to come during the summer season, and a reminder to help you get started on thinking about how you want to approach the situations in your life that you come across during the summer season. It is also a call for you to take action on the things that are happening in your life. Sometimes we can get caught up in everything in our lives to the point that we just allow it to happen to us, and that's how it can be easy to let things get out of control and the pessimistic thoughts start to seep into our minds instead of thinking about opportunities that are presenting themselves to us to say, what can we do differently to change our circumstances? What is calling for us to restore balance in our lives? Is there something that we need to learn how to do in moderation instead of letting it consume every aspect of our lives? Don't be afraid to have that conversation with yourself, pal number 3. And don't be afraid to have that conversation with others that you are involved with in the summer season as well. This could be with your family, friends, a romantic partner, your boss, or your coworkers at work. I'm hearing you asking yourself, why do I keep doing this to myself, or why do I keep letting certain things happen to me? These are good questions to ask yourself, and dive deeper into how you can make certain changes in your life so not everything in life feels like it's doom and gloom and everyone and everything is out to get me. This summer season may be calling for you to claim your power back in some way. What was once stolen or taken from you, you can reclaim it, and you don't have to allow what was taken from you to control you and negatively impact every aspect of your life. You have the power to restore balance either within you or outside of you and reclaim the aspect of you that you once lost. You don't have to let different aspects of your life drain you and suck the life out of you. You have a choice to put a stop to this and live a better quality of life during the summer. Don't let anything burn you out and put out the fire within you that gives you life and hope for the future. Now, for the last part of your reading, I will be pulling from the Work Your Light Oracle cards deck to give you your Oracle card for the summer. And the card that came out for you was the Share Your Voice card that says, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, you are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries within it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. And for your Work Your Light action, it says express yourself, share your voice, speak to those who can hear you. And that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. If you reached the end of your reading, I hope that the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and/or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And until then, I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day and summer. Goodbye.